So, have you had a chance to pre-read?
Yes,
Yes.
I
Cool.
has.
Cool. So, if I delay long enough, you actually pre-read it for a change.
A bit of that, and yeah, and I did try to read it last night, and that didn't go well. Well, usually what happens, I read it the night before or like 2 in the morning, and then it doesn't go well.
Yeah, I know. And then he forgets everything. So, we have links. We have Friday Facts back to 350 with the ugly mining drills that everybody hated.
Oh yeah, the big tower monstrosities.
Um,
They made a comeback.
and then we have the current mining drills. I even forgot these were current mining drills. I 100% forgot that that's what the current ones look like. I had to go and check at the wiki of what the current ones look like.
Did you really?
Yeah, I remember the sweeping ones. It's been...
Oh, the ore brushes.
Yeah. But thank you for coming back for 6 months, sir. Yeah, I remember. Wait, do we have a picture of the original ones in one of those Friday Facts we do?
It should be in one of them, yes.
There we go. The old design, where they just brush
There
the
it is.
resources away. I liked the brushes.
The resource brushes.
Yeah.
It's like the I think it was in one of the Anno games had a collector like that.
I don't remember. I haven't. I played
It's one of the
Anno
ones everyone
1800.
hated.
I played the 1800. Everybody said I'd love it. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, I've been told the same thing, but I still haven't bought it.
Oh, we can also turn off the timer. Can I turn off disable? Does that work? It does work. Cool. Change scene? No, not yet. I haven't hit the record button yet.
No. You got to say, "Oh, change scene."
Yeah,
later, and
at
then
least
never change
3
scene.
times before I start the Friday Facts. And that way I don't need to edit it in post afterwards, which I managed to do without too much of a problem. It just added time. And last week post stream and everything else, I went crashed. Reading for Vulcan was the most finished planet. Really was a downer. So long till the expansion comes. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. So, Bert, how you doing? Are you excited for Factorio 1.1.2/2.0/DLC/expansion that is going to be released anytime now? Yeah. So, planet design. How many planets? It adds in 7 minutes, so it means hopefully we'll be ready in 7 minutes. Different resources. They'd already done quality. Oh, quality was done.
Oh, it was one of the first ones.
But I think... Didn't they mention quality was done prior to...
Oh yeah, they started it years ago.
1.1? Quality. I think it was in the clarification for the next Friday Facts. No. No.
The talking about quality, when they started, quality was in the first one.
Yeah, I know. But they mentioned... I'm pretty sure they mentioned it was completed before 1.1? Or 1.0?
Yeah, I think that was always... It was in the first one as well.
So...
Unless it was, Actually, no, I don't think it was. It was like the one after or something.
I looked at the one after. Oh, I skimmed it.
No, it'll be whatever one says, whichever one that came up first that says, like, how far progressed they are.
Well, there was Space Age was the first one, introducing the rocket platform. Then we have Quality.
Oh yeah, we got the introduction and then all that. It's one that says that basically the other planets haven't been done yet.
Aha. This means it was technically blah blah. Merged as a branch during the 1.0 and 1.1 development. Merged as a different branch. Yeah, okay, so this was done prior to 1.0. Or around the time of 1.0. Blah 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 blah. Different branch almost any touch together merge conflict. Once start working this way, should the first thing to do, finally put okay, yeah, so this was the first thing to do, yep. Interested to see what legendary nukes do. Be interested to see if I give chat legendary nukes or common nukes.
Common nukes for common people.
Yeah, tier 1 will be a normal nuke, and then a tier 3 will be a legendary nuke, and we'll put a tier 2 somewhere in the middle, right?
You get one of the K2 antimatter bombs.
Boomerang homing, maybe. I've said what I want is I want a Twitch redeem that is called Speed, and it launches a rocket at me. It turns out I found out a little problem that rockets have a lifespan.
Yes.
I didn't know they had a lifespan. So we'd have to, after so many tiles, remove it and re-add it at the speed and trajectory it was going at. But I basically want a homing nuke that just follows me. Or it just needs to be a projectile that follows me for an unlimited amount of time. And then when it lands, we'll put in a... you can set it for 2 million tiles. No, we're not setting any weapons for 2 million tiles. That will kill servers. Yes. But yeah, I want a homing missile that follows me and basically just follows me permanently. Always there, always off the screen. It doesn't have to be super fast. It can be slow. I want it speed like the movie and the boat with the bus. Yep. And it's just gonna... It's guaranteed kill when it gets there.
It's like that,
It follow you for 2 million
worms.
tiles. Oh! Okay. So if I dodge it for long enough, I might escape.
Or what's more likely to happen is that it'll crash into you when you stop noticing.
Yeah, pretty much.
When you get distracted.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
I was going to say also, it's exactly like the homing spit from the old worms.
Yes. Also means that...
Which had an unreasonably long life.
Also means that if it's slow, I might run from one side of the base to the other, and people might just be in the base and just notice a nuclear weapon just go flying past them. Not at incredibly high speed, just reasonably slow, and there'll be like random calls of "oh shit" from Discord. If you dial wise after you, obviously you should detonate wherever it is, or chat pauses jetty. Yeah, that's a possibility too. We need a homing train that adds a train to the rail and blows you up. No.
We need to set your speed to half that of the nuke, or 75% of the nuke.
No, because then it would guarantee to catch me. The idea is it's going to catch me when I'm not paying attention.
That's the idea, is so that you can't outrun it. But you're still just barely fast enough, so you think you're getting away.
No.
Or you have it change speed, so it's always within a certain radius.
No, so you're making it more complicated. No. I just want a weapon that's just going to follow me for an unlimited amount of time, and it will eventually catch me, so when I'm not paying attention, boom. And that way it can happen anywhere. Including like when I'm running past a nuclear reactor, because I run past nuclear reactors and chat doesn't pay attention hard enough, often enough, and misses them. Okay, some random person sent me a friend request on Steam. Thanks. How you doing, Snow? Was out socializing at a company Christmas party? Snow, you mean you work and get to socialize after work with work colleagues and call it a work expense? Or a work something? I thought you just went out socializing for the fun of it. So yeah, no different resources because that would complicate the recycler, the foundry, which is super cool. And I had no idea that Arendelle did the so I knew he did the concept art, but I didn't know he did the 3D modeling as well. I assumed he was just giving them here's a 2D concept art, go nuts.
Yeah, he's giving them concepts and other things. I also kicked the mute button.
Also kick the what?
I also happen to have kicked my mute button
Oh,
somehow.
did you? Good. Because
Pick up
I'm going to now
mouse.
hit mute because the ads are going to run, so I'm going to take a bathroom break. Needs camera to make it look like a religious spot. No. I got reactors view times? Not often enough. Alright, I'll be back.
How about make it look like the old car?
Oh
The
god, no.
Cadillac.
No.
There you go. It could also make it look like the old, the pre-biter zombie things. So it's one of the pre-biter zombies chasing after him, like a Slender Man chasing JD down. I feel like Thunder might be the king. Or maybe if one of the old fish. Because the fish used to be the actual fish symbol. Well, at least an earlier iteration of. You could have a landfish. So landfish, the Cadillac, the zombies. They always just have a Bugzilla. It's kind of hard to miss. Just a friendly pet Bugzilla that's just that just happens to be a missile.
I was going to ask, as we've come into...
Oh, you're back.
Yep, I'm back. I was going to ask, as we're coming to summer, is it pissing down rain for you as well? And then I realised
Yes.
where you live, it's pissing down rain all the time!
Oh, not all the time. It's not Tasmania.
Thunder is the new King of the Hill. Use the teapot. Thunder. He spammed last time and he won. Well, he didn't spam he didn't spam 2 in a row. If he gets 2 in a row by spamming, then I definitely confirm we have a problem. But Bilbo's also spammed and not won. So I don't know. As far as I know, the code is under review. No. So nuclear weapons that follow me around all the time. You want an quick, easy example? The perfect one would be... Did you ever play Cosmoteer?
The what? No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because Cosmoteer has a nuclear weapon that fires, and it's incredibly slow. But it's a nuclear weapon, so it does massive, massive damage.
Like a Redeemer.
And it just has a little red flashing light. And yeah, I was thinking something like that. Slow-moving nuclear weapons guaranteed a JD kill. We might even scale it, so the longer it stays alive, the bigger the boom. So if I escape it, good. If I don't escape it, oops. Okay, so Foundry. Yeah, I didn't realize, like I said, he did the animated part as well. I just thought he did here's the 2D image. There you go. Have fun. All right.
He did the concept and the basic outline, and then it was touched up.
Yeah, he's doing the grayscale version. I didn't realize he did the grayscale version.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought he did the 2D flat image. So I thought he did the one on the right, not the one on the left.
Yeah, or he did the concept, and then, yeah.
Yeah, and then poor Jersey's been copped with so much.
Well, at least he got something fun to do for a change.
Yeah, rather than Rails.
And all the other stuff.
And then we had the Foundries, which...
What was the other thing that drove him insane? I think it was the platforms.
I'm not sure about platforms. No, Hank, that'll go away. That'll go away. The problem
So
is...
something that I didn't catch the first time
Mm-hmm.
with that picture of the 4 foundries,
Mm-hmm.
the one with doing the low density doesn't have the pipe connected.
It's not using molten liquids.
Yeah, because it's not using molten copper, even though it takes in copper plate.
I wonder if it's optional. No.
Oh, the
No,
pipe
because it
would
has no
connect if it
fluid
was.
connections, yeah.
Because the bottom pipe is molten copper.
Yeah. But 50% productivity bonus.
Yes.
Base.
It does lead to an interesting conundrum, because if you put these back on the home world, then you're stuck with that equal ratio of copper and iron, molten copper and iron.
What do you mean?
So the first foundry takes in lava, outputs molten copper and iron.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell from the picture above.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also produces stone,
Yep.
which gets dumped back in the lava.
Yep. And then when using lava as a resource in.
Yeah, and lava is the resource in.
Uh-huh.
Although apparently it has stone in as well.
Now, if you use lava as a resource in, you get out iron, plus you get out copper, both in molten form, and stone as a byproduct in a inserter form. Yep.
It's just the video has stone going in as well.
No, that has calcium.
Oh, that's calcite.
Calcite or whatever it is. Yes.
Ah, yes.
Yes. Yes. So that's calcite. It's a slightly different color of look of stone.
So on Vulcan Hot Anus,
Yeah. Volcananus. Yep.
yes, you can. It produces its ratio of molten copper and iron, and if there's ever an oversupply of one, you can dump it back in the lava. But if you bring it back to the homeworld, you don't get that option now.
But you don't have lava on the homeworld.
Yeah, but you can ship it back.
You're gonna launch lava into space
On a space platform.
as a fluid. How do we get fluid? You'd have to launch up as barrels. You'd have to barrel lava in a steel barrel.
Sort of the implication.
I'm going to assume that doesn't work, Mojo. But let's just continue down your storyline to then fly it home.
That editor might make it work.
You're gonna fly it home,
unless they intend for the foundry to make like low density structure or something, because the copper wire and the plates only work on the volcanic anus.
or you fly them home and you put in iron ore and you put in some sort of flammable material, like a fuel, like probably not coal, probably going to require solid fuel, maybe rocket
electricity.
fuel.
Lots of electricity is the official statement.
Okay, sure. Lots of electricity. And then that's how you get your plates. Your molten liquid to make plates on the homeworld. Rather than trying to ship back lava. Because the homeworld has iron ore.
Yes, it does.
And copper ore.
It'd have to be ore directly into something else or something along those lines. If you go straight from ore to like gears or something.
You go from ore to gears, or you go to ore to plate, because you're going to get a 50% bonus.
Oh, you get the bonus on top of the bonus for going to the gears, I would assume.
Well, you get a 50% productivity bonus, and you reckon going straight to gears would be you get another bonus on top of that. I don't think they'll bother. Although, hang on. If you're going to get a product... Oh, no, because it's a... If you run it through an assembler...
Less machines.
If you run it through an assembler, you get a 40% productivity bonus. Or you can run it straight to these and get a 50% productivity bonus with no speed penalty. That's going to be the issue. That's going to be the advantage.
So you know the bonus for plate to gears is like basically nothing. Even though there isn't, you do gain more. It's like it doesn't really add up to much in the end.
Are we talking when it comes to the cost of the prod mod?
Yeah, how much how much effect the prod mod has. I mean, smelting is basically nothing because it's only 2 currently.
Because
it does work on scale.
It's a 40% bonus, so it's 40% no matter what. If you're talking about the return on investment for the prod mods, it's horrible. I don't disagree. But if prod mods were free, like i.e. I have this building sitting here anyway, it's going to give me 40% no matter what.
So
then 40% is 40%.
The return on investment thing is only an early game thing.
Okay.
So I just consider it, unless it's an early game specific, I just consider it overall.
Well, so you're going to get a 50% bonus from these machines, whereas if you ran it through assembler, you'll get a 40% bonus, but comes with a massive speed penalty. So on the home world, you're going to run iron ore into these guys with some sort of electricity or fuel, whatever it happens to be.
It's electricity. V said so on Reddit.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yes.
And then there's no reason why you wouldn't run molten. So we give you molten iron on the bus, which then you could run directly 2 gears in your gear assembly, assuming you're still working on a bus, right? And swap out the assemblers from, rather than taking an iron plate, they're taking liquid iron and turn that straight into gears. You get 50% extra gears. Also, don't forget, we only have prod 1s at this stage. We don't have 2s and 3s. Because you haven't unlocked higher. Also, yeah, more module slots means, and technically, if you put tier 3 modules in it, you have a 50% base productivity bonus, plus potentially another 40% on top of that.
Plus whatever research bonus it may or may not have.
Yeah, plus potentially on top of that, higher quality modules.
Yes.
So easily 100% productivity bonus is possible. Easily. Alright.
Forum is also going nuts over needing higher tier belts, so I haven't really read the forums.
Yeah, I don't think anybody reads the forums.
Yeah, they... Sometimes there's some nuggets of intelligence, some nuggets, great nuggets of information, but on the whole, it's, yeah. It hurts my brain to read this time.
Yeah, we'll get back to the forums another day. Okay, so basic mining drills. My only complaint about this is it's facing left to right. I want to see it facing forward to backward so I can see on the inside what these 4 giant spinny things look like.
There's a picture for that further down, technically.
Yeah.
The uranium one?
Yeah, no, probably this coal one. Yeah, okay, alright, it looks big and meaty.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally the render.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't notice. I was looking at the belts in this one, noticing that 2 of them did a full blue belt. Also noticed that they have kept the same logic as the mining drill, where they only output to one side of the belt.
Yes.
Yeah, not a fan.
I mean, it was bound to happen.
I was just hoping that maybe they would have updated it. So if they filled one side, they can start filling the other side. Especially when they're end loading.
There's also a lot of talk about these being perfect for direct-to-train mining.
They're 5 tiles and a train is 6 tiles?
7.
7?
And their reach is more than enough to do so.
Their reach is like 4 tiles in each direction. So 9 tiles? 9, 13
13
tiles.
by 13.
13 by 13, yeah. which is massive. Yeah, so these are designed for direct to train mega basing.
Yes.
Yeah,
These are effectively direct-to-train miners.
yeah. Okay. So, anything else? Anything else that needs to be added as an antidote?
Ooh. I think that's it.
So quality, where does quality come in? Quality comes in planets, different resources, quality branch. So I work in planets. Yes. Okay. So quality and the ugly miners, then the
So the thing with
slightly less
the
ugly miners.
direct-to-train mining is that currently it does take a bit of wrangling to make it work right,
What do you mean?
and there are a few different solutions, and usually it involves doing like sort of an even strip and then an odd strip. So there's a lot of micromanagement potentially. There's some other ways around it, but it's yeah. There's some annoyances to it, whereas these get full coverage and make it very dead simple.
Well, they're going to cover 4 tiles past them.
Yes.
So you need only 2 for a train track. So yes, it's going to definitely cover all the tiles underneath the train track, etc., etc. I have 4 miners per wagon, which is a total of 10 tiles worth of width for a wagon that is 7 tiles. That's always going to be your issue.
Yeah, it never quite fits.
It can be done. It can be done. It can be done. Like, there's lots of different ways to do it. I know I set up a base at some stage which had the patches were not big enough yet, so I still had a train that pulled through in 2 halves to mine
Another
directly
common
into the
one.
train.
That's actually I was also sort of alluding to, but not trying not to explain it. But yeah, you have it pull through 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
It does like evens and odds.
To do the patch?
Yeah.
No. I just had a train that was like 8 wagons long, and the patch was only long enough to support 4 wagons. So to pull
Yeah, and
through,
then
do the first 4, and then pull out again, do the next 4.
and then to deal with the odd spacing, you need to like alternate.
Odd spacing, because you're
Actually, it
using
probably doesn't matter at
too
that
many
length.
miners and they're not lining up with the train wagons properly.
Yeah. If you get a train that's long enough, it doesn't line up. Eventually, it doesn't line up.
Yeah. My answer was always miner, beacon. That's 6 tiles. Wagons are 7. All right, with a power pole on one side. There we go. 7, 7, done. All right. And then you end up with 2 miners per wagon. So lots of speed.
And yeah, 100% mining prod. Or even what was it? 1,000% mining prod was filling in like 4 seconds or something.
Yeah, something like that. So if you get the bonuses high enough, it's stupid. It's stupid,
Yeah.
stupid. So yes. All right, you good?
Yep. Have you cleared the
I
thing?
have. Everything's cleared off the screen. We're on the Friday Facts scenes.
All the
It's got
sounds
nothing.
actually work, and it is actually capturing.
It is actually captured. I had microphone break earlier today.
Oh, you broke a microphone?
Yeah, the XLR. This should work for Mojo as well. I believe I'm garbled. I don't know.
Not really.
Not really, but a little bit. There we
I
go.
mean,
Does that
I
garble
didn't
it?
really notice anything different.
All right, Mojo might not be able to hear it. All right, I turn knobs.
Oh,
Garble down.
there it is.
There we go. Okay, yeah. So at some
Yeah,
stage,
you sound like a mix between an old person and like playing backwards.
the Go XLR went to module slot number 6, and I don't know how, but like a voice changer thingamajiggy bob. I don't know how, and just as importantly, I don't know when. So I might have recordings that I've done that are fucked, and I don't know about it yet.
See, the thing is, the mistake was buying a Go XLR.
Well, 4 years ago, the options were slim, and we both know that.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, like times have progressed. There's more options now. Honestly, as I only use it as a conversion from XLR to USB, if and when this dies, I'll be getting the Elgato one. Yeah, the Elgato one, because that'll just do everything I want.
Either that or the AV Media one. I think there's one of the audio brands has one now too.
Oh, there's lots of them, but I literally just need a conversion from XLR to USB. So I'm thinking the Elgato one, and then it's got a gain knob on the front of it. And and that's the only thing that moves on it. So I really think I'm just going to set it once. I'm going to put some tape from the knob to the top of it so it can't rotate. And that'll be it. It'll just be set and forget. Because, yeah, at some stage... software.
You're making me trying to remember what I paid for my Scarlett. I don't remember now. It was shockingly cheap for what it is.
At some stage, this 6 button here was pressed.
And
that turns on the...
That's the voice modulator.
Megaphone voice modulator with a reverb and a classic slap and a wide pitch and a medium gender and
What happens if you change it to a ping pong?
What do you mean ping pong? I don't know.
Ah.
I don't know. What's it sound like now?
About the same.
About the same. Okay. There you go. That should change it again. I don't know if this... Yeah, this should change it instantly.
Yeah, it should, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should. I don't know.
It doesn't even really do anything.
These are all things that I haven't bothered with. There you go. 100%. How does that sound?
Just this is more or less the same crackly nonsense.
Probably because it's got megaphone turned on. Is that any better?
Still choppy.
Yeah, see? Yeah. So I don't bother. Like, I got the XLR. It has these cool features and stuff. But I've never used it. Like, everything... It's set to 1 normally, and everything is set to 0. Which means off.
It got worse.
It got worse. Cool. Like, it has the voice samplers. Left computer never gets saying correct, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so there's voice samplers in here as well. Which I've never set to. I haven't bothered. I could play, 30-second
Capture
clips.
things and then play them back.
Yeah, I could say shut the fuck up, Mojo, and just press the button every single time I wanted to say shut the fuck up, Mojo. Or thanks, chat, or whatever. I've never bothered. I don't have an interest in setting that stuff up.
See, it's even funnier when you get the text-to-speech to do it for you. Than having a sample.
Yeah, sample.
Especially when someone makes it try to say German in Finnish.
Oh, okay. Pass. All right. Friday Facts. You good, mate? You ready?
Yes.
Okay. G'day, mate, and welcome to Friday Facts number 387. Swimming in lava, and I'm swimming with a good friend, Mojo. How you doing, mate?
Hello. There's definitely a lot of swimming going on around here currently.
Yeah, it's the middle of summer. It's pouring. Yeah, it's either on fire or flooded. There is no halfway in between in Australia. So, last week we covered Friday Facts number 386, the natural landscape of Volcaninus, which mostly showed the visuals. I mean, probably where we always put gameplay first. So now it's time to find out what kind of greater good you can do on the planet. Mojo, are you planning greater good for this new planet?
If good you mean by mining all of its resources with maximum efficiency, then yes.
And removing all the rocks. Can't forget the rocks.
Removing all rocks, cliff, and native inhabitants.
Yes.
Well, sorry, not removing them, bringing democracy to the native inhabitants.
Giving them friendship pellets.
Yes.
Extending
the bullets of friendship.
No. Friendship pellets. You gotta say it, friendship pellets. Okay. Planet design start. So early in 2021.
Peacekeeping missiles.
Early in 2021, when Covrex and I, being Feet, we're trying to make a high-level general plan of what the expansion should be. It's obvious the direction led upwards to space, which in our eyes kind of automatically meant it was also visiting other planets. The obvious next question would be, what is the planet? What does it mean? How's it different from Narvis? And how many of them do we want? So, Mojo, I had to look it up. When was Factorio 1.0 released?
A shockingly long time ago.
So it was like September, I want to say, 2020.
Yeah, about then.
August, September, somewhere there. And then January 2021 is when 1.1 came out, which fixed spiders and a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah, it was like 6, 7 months later.
Yeah, it was like it was the first week or two of 2021. So it was very, very early 2021. We had Factorio 1.1 drop. And then since then, it's all been about, well, the expansion 1.2, 2.0 DLC. Yes. So they've been working on this for a good almost 3 years at this point. Yeah. So in Factorio, how many
Beginning
planets?
of February for 1.1.
What was that? I thought it was January.
Oh, yeah, 30th of January, 29th of January.
Okay, I don't know. I looked it up earlier and I forgot to save that tab. Anyway, progression has always been linked to science. Intuitive, the new planet would yield new science pack, unlocking more parts of the technology tree often meant a lot of progress is very linear. With some exceptions, you can choose progression in different order, being utility and production science, which was added in 16, I want to say, Mojo, right?
The
Utility and production. That was
15.
15?
15.
Okay. Ultimate, you arrive at a single goal at the end, so we knew one planet has to be the last. Since a significant part of the expansion is the space platform with space logistics, it's hard to imagine the expansion with only one planet. In fact, we think less than 2 to 3 additional planets isn't quite making good use of the space logistics. That left us with 4 new planets as the sweet spot between satisfying progression and minimal repetition. Also, as I read this sentence for the first time, because I read the Friday Facts several hours ago before Mojo woke up, mods. There are going to be mods in the future that are not going to touch the base game. They're just going to add new planets.
That'd be interesting. Imagine alien biomes mod, expansion alien biomes mod just adds 1,000 new planets.
Look, you could have lots of mods. Like, so you could have mods that just, they're like add biters and stuff, but they only appear on brand new planets with brand new technology, with brand new weapons to deal with said biters. So you could now have a situation, because the problem you have with Factorio currently is when you play through the whole game and you get to the end, if you want to add mods at that point, there's not a lot of options to really change the gameplay, because they require you to research stuff earlier on and build up towards, you know, late game fighters, changes of the whole tech tree, all sorts of things. It now means you could play through the whole game, and once you get to the end, you finish the game, you've launched the mega rocket, we'll call it, because it's now on a different planet, that something spaceship. We're gonna call it a spaceship. It's not gonna be a rocket anymore. A spaceship after you finish the new 4 science packs. You could then install a mod that gives you 5 new planets with 5 new lots of biters, with 5 new lots of biter related technology research to deal with these new biters, for argument's sake.
Potentially, yes.
Or a new planet that gives you tin, and you now need to add tin into your production lines for more optimized smelting of whatever. So it's
and it implements it in some janky way that makes it nearly impossible to do in less than 1,000 hours.
Yeah, I didn't say Pyanodons, did I?
I mean, you say mod, and it's sort of implied these days.
Well, this is true. You could have base game, like finish base game, and then install a Pyanodons Lite version that just applies after base game's finished. So yeah, for me, just thinking about that one example, I think it's going to make a lot of people who play through the end game, who want to keep playing, and after they've got the robots and all this sort of stuff, give them the opportunity to, rather than going back to the start. Because I know a lot of people avoid going back to the start because they don't want to deal with Burner City again. After you have Power Armor Mark II and everything else, you don't really want to go back to Burner City.
So my mind's on a bit of a tangent, but I was thinking, sure, I think there's a mod that actually changes like biters into weeb waifus or something.
Yeah, there is.
Sure, I've seen that at least once.
We're going to leave that there. There is. At least it changes the character.
It changes the player character.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of those.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're not all a ball ache.
Yeah, we're going to... Mojo, back in your corner. Okay, what different recipes and resources? As we've already mentioned, whilst easy to assume numbers remain to be the location of the main factory for most, players really want to avoid the situation where new planets just became mining outposts. When I played to build something that felt like a worthy factory of each of the planets. I feel on a planet you have to need to launch a rocket again or to get back into space. At the start of this is more of a throwback to, again, experiencing the stranded feeling. This time, the process is already greatly accelerated because you have all the technology to research. And your space platform can bring you lots of construction materials. However, building the rocket infrastructure 4 times starts to feel repetitive, so we definitely aim to have each of the planet's recipes simplify or completely skip some parts. Otherwise, somebody would make a blueprint and they would share the blueprint on day 2, and this would be this is how you get back to space after landing on this planet, this planet, this planet, or this planet. Yeah. The expansion generally puts a lot of emphasis on stability of your factory, but it's Factorio, and some things always go wrong. It's easy to imagine your Narvis or space platforms aren't having the best time whilst you're on a different planet. To prevent locking your progress if Narvis gets cut off completely or overrun, we need to include a way to craft pretty much all the rocket parts on any planet. All this combination means that when finding the theme and resource planets, they should generally slot into some area of Factorio in a nice way, whilst being fresh and unique too. And because we apparently just love contradictions, we want an experience that feels new without having to learn too many recipes per planet. Cool. We confused yet, Mojo?
Not yet.
Okay,
But
not
you
yet.
go
Cool.
on.
Alright, on top of that, adding new recipes made it even more difficult due to the recycler, which was already implemented in the game as part of the quality branch before we started work on any of the planets. So quality we did cover.
Yes. What
So
it means is you can't have short-circuiting recipes. So changing how you get iron plates or something in iron plates into gears by
you
a normal means.
you can't have a better example because it's going to come up in a minute. You can't have low density structures that require new item B plus plastic equals low density structure. You only can have essentially one recipe for one end item. You could have an alternative recipe, but it needs to come from the same source item. So yes, steel can only come from iron in some form of iron way. It has to come from iron. That way, if you recycle steel in a recycler, technically it won't go back to iron. But if it could, it would go back to iron. But yes, they covered back in Friday Facts number 375 that they already have quality was the first thing they built, and they play tested it around about the 1.1 development time, and it was already in the base, well, ready to be in the base game prior to them even working on Space Age. So quality sort of firmly shoved its way in before they worried about planets and multi recipes and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, if an item has multiple alternative recipes, it's not clear which ingredients should be returned on recycling this item. This makes adding alternative recipes much of a no-no. So we had a rough plan of how many plans we'd like, some general limitations we need to follow, some disconnect ideas, mechanics, and features. And we asked Arendelle to attempt to fill in these brackets with both visual and gameplay themes, which apart from the planet's terrain you've already seen, translates to new recipes and machines. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Foundry.
Foundry.
The Foundry. Not the other Foundry that comes into early access early next year, I believe it is, but this is going to be this Foundry. This Foundry that won't come into early access till, well, look, it might be next year.
2025 to February 31.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. Yeah. So the Foundry, which I hadn't realized up until now, and yes, Arendelle does the 2D flat image on the right, but he also does the animated, I want to say, Blender. The animated Blender image on the left. All right.
The visuals.
Yes.
He renders the visuals.
Yes. That's even worse, Mojo, but sure. Yes, he does the animation as well.
Animated animation. Whoever would have thought that's the thing. Animated visuals.
Yeah.
Of the concept.
Yeah. Okay. Visual design of the Foundry. Heavy industrial, powerful. Oh, it's often enough for Endo to create concept art just by drawing it. Just by drawing it in 2D. But this machine has a lot of massive moving parts with a lot of rotational movement, looping animations, space restrictions for each part. This made Arendelle block off most of the main ships in 3D. Also do a lot more detail than usual left. Later he would do a new drawing over the grey render to figure out if the figure out the details and the textures on the right. From there, it was up to Jersey again to build the monster in the final form. And yes, we have wonderful video, which has back to start.
Sound.
Bad video.
Sound and video.
Sound and video. And it sounds very heavy. Also slow, I should add.
Speed modules will fix that.
Yeah, speed modules will fix that. But it sounds very slow.
Speed beacons would make this thing rip along.
Well, see, the thing is with Factorio, if you add speed modules and speed beacons to a thing, it also speeds up the animation. And now we have beacons which can have quality in them. Plus we have modules that have quality in them. I have no idea what the max speed of this particular machine is going to be. Also, it's 5x5, so it's very large, which means a whole lot of beacons can be put around it.
Same as an oil refinery.
Which is a lot of beacons. I'm wondering how ridiculous
20 or something.
those animations are going to be when running at full speed. And whether it's still going to sound heavy and chunky, or whether it's going to sound very tinny and running very, very quickly.
Very chipmunk.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I want to find out now. All right. So a lot of work.
Which does change when you speed up or anything.
Yeah, it does. You can overcome it a certain amount. So a lot of work went into the sound design between Ian creating the sounds and Dione. Let's go with Dione. Implementing a new sound system for how entities can play sound. Sure, we expect a Friday fact about that one beautiful day. For now, we just marvel how the Foundry looks and sounds. So I'm interested in that Friday facts because Factorio's sound design's been all over the place over the years.
It's always been a bit of an afterthought.
Yeah, and they've updated it, they've changed it, they've added things, they've fixed things, then forgot to put in the artillery sounds for like a year and a half after putting it in the Friday facts. Oops. Yes.
Your most favourite thing to talk about, the artillery sounds.
They made great sounds, and then they left the shit ones in there for a year and a half after releasing like multiple versions. Yeah. Okay. It's more than just Vulcan Ennis's furnace, right? From visuals, it appears to be requiring a lot of energy to run, but what do we get for investment? The foundry can handle molten metals or even lava itself. The unique recipes on this planet about tungsten processing, which eventually leads to the meteorological science pack made in this machine. Oh, so it's an assembler as well.
Yes, it is.
I missed that part.
Yeah, that's what I was explaining to you before we started, or trying to explain to you before we started.
You failed. Okay, as been mentioned, how alternative recipes is a problem due to recycling. This isn't the case for smelting and chemical processes, as recycling return the ingredients of transformative recipes doesn't make any sense. So recycling an iron plate will just return an iron plate with a 25% chance. This is important because we have foundries use different recipes for smelting without any issues. Bringing the foundry back home to Narvis or any other planet feels very rewarding because it crafts very quickly and you can start distributing molten iron and copper instead of finished plates. Better yet, from the molten iron and molten copper, we can make more advanced items like iron gears, copper cables, or even steel directly. Recycling an iron gear wheel will still turn to iron plates, but it's less efficient at making the iron plates from molten iron straight up. Which means that yes, if we take these home, we'll put iron ore directly into them and get liquid iron out.
Okay, so you do... That was one thing that I couldn't understand was, do you put the ore in and melt it, or do you put the ore in, it melts it down internally and produces the output?
I'm assuming we're going to have a recipe to put in iron ore and get out iron plate? Because
I mean,
it's
I wouldn't mind having it turn into molten, and then you can pipe molten iron around to the different facilities.
And then turn the molten iron into iron plate there and then.
Yes.
That might be an option as well.
I mean, something that needs iron plate, gears, and steel, you could do that all in one, like with 3 foundries at the end site. I mean, it's a terrible way to do it, but it's possible.
Oh, no, actually, no. For things like military science, it's probably not a bad idea.
Actually, yeah, military science, it might make sense.
Yeah, because it needs iron, steel, a little bit of copper, and coal. And, of course, stone. to make the walls, but walls are normally made somewhere else. It's just one assembler.
It's much easier to make it as bricks and bring in bricks.
Yeah, whatever.
'Cause bricks get turned into concrete, so you just siphon off a bit from your glorious concrete production.
No, my concrete production is built to scale. built to scale, built to ratio. It only makes concrete. The whole world needs to be needs to be covered. It is built to ratio. The bots are always busy. As soon as that stuff comes out, it's off and flying. All right. Yeah, whether it comes out as an iron plate with the 50% productivity bonus, or whether it turns into an iron liquid, which then you need to plumb into another machine to turn an iron plate, I guess wouldn't matter. It's just an extra machine if you want to go down that step. But it sort of makes sense for it to only take in ore and turn it into molten iron or molten copper. And then if you want to convert it from molten into a solid, then you need a second machine. But 50% productivity bonus is a nice bonus.
It's a good bonus.
Yeah, a very nice bonus. And like the animations are super slow, but these are outputting material reasonably quickly. And also because we want to make the rocket production easier, Foundry can also craft the normal recipe of low density structures. Copper and steel plates for low density structure are much easier to craft too. And yes, 50% productivity bonus with
On
4
top of
module
that.
slots. Yeah.
Assuming you can productivity these as well with productivity modules.
Well,
So it'll
it
get you
says
90% productivity.
50% productivity bonus, which can be further boosted with the
Oh, it
machine's
does,
4
yes.
module slots. So yes. Yes, these are
Yes.
designed to go up to 90 or above with legendary modules if you decide to turn on the quality mod as part of your Factorio playthrough.
It also depends on whether or not these have a productivity research as well, which was alluded to in a previous
Well, low
facts.
density structures, I'm pretty sure did. So, and that's the base for low density structures outright. So I would assume anything that crafts low density structures, being probably only 2 machines, being this and an assembler, automatically get that productivity bonus kicked in as well. So yes, and then we come on to the big mining drill. Tungsten ore is hard to mine with normal mining drills, and normal mining drills aren't capable of it. At the start, you find tungsten and rocks all over the surface of Vulcanatus. See, knew the rocks were going to be annoying. But with this mining drill, you can start to mine in large quantities the way we like it, straight into our belt. The new usurper of natural resources, new explorer of planet surfaces, new cause of mass pollution powerful enough to mine tungsten ore. So, the visual design of the big mining drill. Mining drills are essential part of Factorio. I even argue the most...
It's kind of important.
Well, they are super important, but they're sort of ones that you run out to the outpost, you paste down, you ignore, whereas assemblers, you set a lot of them manually.
That's a lot of manual labor. You need my outpost blueprint that builds it all for you. So you just ghost it down the entire thing, and then it builds it.
Yeah, I ghost them down in great swaths, but normally I just go look for the biggest patch I've got available and just go copy and then paste it where I am. And it gets me 90% of the way there. Train station included.
You even get the train station.
Yeah, if the train's close enough to the original, just, copy paste the whole lot and just, done. I still think the assembler's more important than a miner drill. Like, don't get me wrong, miners are important, but the assemblers you spend more time looking at, more time dealing with. Outposting in Factorio, I don't know. I think after I've done the 10,000 outposts, it's sort of a little blasé for me.
It gets a little repetitive.
The brain just switches into auto gear and it just happens. So yes. Mining drills. Means a lot of thought is put into the visual design. Keywords for electric mining drill where we redesigned in 2019 were aggressive ground penetration, violence and power exerted against the soil. We've followed this direction again, but want to exaggerate all of these even more and represent that it can wreck the land faster and in a bigger area. Now, if you want a quick recap, the mining drills from 2019, which were implemented in the game for about a month. Yeah. They were these...
And then people complained about them.
Ugly...
I mean, they were kind of visually polluting.
They were just...
difficult to see.
There was a lot. They became a square box of silver. And you just ignored them. Like, I ignored mining drills to start with. I admit, I play Factorio don't see the current mining drill. I had to look it up on the wiki. I see the original mining drills that swept the ground. I've had them for so long, that's just what I see now. Like when I played
Yes.
Diablo, I hear the sound even though the speakers are off. Because I put in too many hours in Diablo 1 and Diablo 2.
I'm pretty sure the same thing was from Anno 2070. I was thinking about it earlier because I'm fairly certain I've seen it in at least one Anno game.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played it in the early annos. But yes, they got updated to the new, slightly less giant silver pile of crap mining drills that we have now. Which was just...
the meat's in the middle ground.
Yeah, and... yeah, I'm still a giant fan of the originals, but that's besides the point. We're gonna have newer, bigger, and better ones, which means with the new, bigger, and better ones, I'm probably gonna upgrade to these straight away and never go back. So, we have bigger and better mining drills, led to... Okay, bigger and better and more massive tends to invite making the entity taller. Remember, we also walked that path before with the electric mining drill. Soon realized we need to attach to the ground, so we did so in the last minute before the 1.0 release, which was one of these pictures. Yeah, sure. So for the mining mechanism itself, we chose a set of 4 excavating wheels which circled inwards where the ore is being sucked in by the mechanism above. We've doubled down on the ground attachment rails and the mining head travels on. We've raised the holding structure in the direction of the output, which gives the drill directionally and a taller presence than the electric mining drill. Once we've agreed on the design, Arendelle finished the concept art. We let Jersey off the chain again. The guy is underpaid. And yeah, it
Well, at least he's getting to do fun things now, not just rails.
not losing his mind doing rails and GUI. Yeah. Yeah. So this looks oh, and tentacles. Yes, that was the other thing Jersey got let loose on. So yeah, much bigger, much more impressive. I do like this one. I also like the speed of it. It seems slow and massive. Yeah.
Yes.
It would be pretty weak if we only used the big mining drill was to get tungsten, so a direct upgrade to the normal mining drill is several ways. Much larger mining area of 13 by 13 tiles, so that is its space plus 4 tiles from the drill edge in all directions, which is very convenient in placing them in irregular areas like around lava. Harvest faster with a speed of 2.5 per second compared to the 0.5 of the standard mining drill, almost the double speed per occupied tile, which nobody cares about. Everybody cares about the 2.5 compared to the 0.5.
How many you can fit into the smallest area?
Yeah. Also, how many do I need to fill a belt? Yeah, that's all people ever care about. 4 module slots, so you can insert 3 efficiency modules and 1 speed module to keep minus 80% pollution whilst boosting their speed. I feel like the devs need to crank up the biters and make them harder. Or maybe crank them down if they're worried about pollution from mining drills. Don't get me wrong, they produce a whole heap, but biters are not really an issue if you've played enough Factorio.
Well, we don't know what the off-world biters are like.
I'm hoping they're aggressive, very aggressive. And as this planet has lava, you know, that creates lots of air turbulence and lots of lift and flying biters, because that way they don't have to worry about pathfinding over lava. So additionally, it has a
or water or any kind of obstacle. They just go over the lot.
Yeah, and obviously, if we find them on one planet, we might have to have our space platforms accidentally have, like rats, you know, moved across the sea and cats, you know, just accidentally one gets on board and comes back to the home planet, and we have flying butters on the home planet as well. Yeah. So as a special unique property, the reduction in resource drain by 50%. This new stat means the resource only get its richest depleted half the time. In other words, it directly multiplies with productivity of the drill. You'd imagine how crazy mining productivity can get. Better yet, the resource drain percent is affected by the quality of drill. A legendary quality at a big mining drill only drains the resource 17% of the time. Such a drill is mighty expensive, but that resource patch you're about to put it on is sure going to last them for a while. That's massive.
I have a feeling that's going to be necessary, or potentially necessary, for the later planets. I feel like that's some foreboding.
As in the later planets just going to have no resources whatsoever for you to find?
Yeah, or it has some resource that's super rare that's going to justify such a thing.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
It may be already the case with the calcite, I'm not sure. But I feel like it's alluding to something that's coming.
Oh, great. You ruined my fun, Mojo.
Me and my big brain things.
Yeah. Okay, so new mining drills, very, very impressive. As you might notice, actually go back to the video. This does not have a connection on the back of it for plugging in acid. But yet, these ones do. And acid's at the, I don't know, second tile in from the front and at the rear.
Uranium.
Yeah, for uranium mining that we know of so far.
Uranium. Uranium.
There's probably going to be more. Yeah. And yeah, they look very mean and very aggressive, and I really like them. I also like that the LED is now actually big enough that you can notice it.
You can actually see that it's actually stopped or run out.
Yeah, well, this one, we've got one here that's flashing because it's doing both coal onto a uranium belt.
Yeah, the uranium's blocking it.
Yeah, and that you can actually notice that, yes. Recipes and resources. Apart from the two structures that processing, Vulcanese has more differences compared to Navis. Sulfuric acid can be mined directly. There's no water on Vulcanese, so water is instead created from sulfuric acid. There's no oil, but coal is plentiful, so we've moved coal liquefaction to Vulcanese. Also added a simplified version, which doesn't require heavy oil to kickstart it. So I wonder if that's gonna be
That's actually a nice change.
well, I'm wondering if we have an intermediate coal liquefaction like we have with normal oil processing, where you have one step of the process that's just going to do heavy oil, and then a later technology that does normal coal liquefaction that we're used to.
Well, as they said, they simplified. Oh, yeah, they're adding a simplified version, so it suggests that that this is a variant of the old
Variant
of the
that only
regular
does
one.
heavy oil, and then you need to crack it to everything else, which is going to be slightly annoying.
Yeah, I mean it is nice that the coal not having to jumpstart the coal liquefaction because that's really annoying.
It is really annoying. It is. You gotta find some heavy oil and put it in a pipe or put it in a barrel or whatever and move it somewhere else just to kickstart the process. So yeah, it's annoying. Don't get me wrong, but yes. There's no uranium. Oops. Which is good because now you have lots of sulfuric acid, free and easy. Just no uranium to use it on. Lava is used as a resource and processed in foundry in molten iron and copper with stone as a byproduct. The planet has no natural stone, iron, or copper ore deposits as a result. And calcinite is a new resource used for curing, purifying ingredient in various recipes like sulfuric acid neutralization, lava processing, or melting iron and copper ore. So that means
Does
if you're
that mean that so if there's no water, does that mean you're basically stuck on solar power?
or some sort of burner power, or you take your sulfuric acid and you neutralize it with the calcite to get water to then make a steam engine.
To then burn presumably solid fuel?
Yeah, probably.
Because you're gonna,
To then
yeah,
have the
to do
water
any kind of burner, you basically need water.
well, to then have the water disappear, so that means you need to keep the process looping.
Yes.
So yes. But calcite is used as a resource for cleaning and purifying ingredient, blah blah blah, lava processing, or melting iron/copper ore. So it does mean if you're going to take these foundries home and you want to put iron and copper ore into them, you need to
You're
have
gonna need
calcite also on the home planet, which
or
means
you need to bring it to the home planet. Which
shipping
you
it.
know,
Yeah.
do you know what? I just confirmed what I said earlier, just before,
What?
about calcite, or with there being super rare, resources that will demand the high tier,
The resource reduction.
yeah, the resource reductions. You're probably going to want that on calcite because from what I remember of the map, the patches were quite
The
small.
patches were not big, correct. But we're
They were
only
not
looking at a
small.
starting
They were
area.
not big.
We're only looking at starting area. That's always the thing with
That is
Factorio. If
true.
you move it, 10,000 tiles to the right, the patches are much bigger.
Still, not a lot to work with.
Yeah. So,
Particularly if you're going to start neutralizing it to make water.
Ooh.
Using calcite to neutralize acid to make water, to make power.
Yeah, it's going to add up real quick. And actually, this
Yep.
planet is closer to the sun, so solar power is going to be a very good option. Because we've already seen in previous Friday facts that solar energy is different between like space and the surface. So I'm willing to bet solar is going to be a very good alternative for this planet.
It's either going to be really good or really bad. That's something we're going to have to find out.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet it's going to be very good. So
Probably very good, yes.
conclusion: most of the initial rules and ideas, together with Arendel's great work on the first prototype version, still remains on Vulcananus to this date, which is to refine the experience over time. When you focus on designing individual systems, you always aim to get sophisticated results with intricacies and cool complexities. Small amount of increased complexity is one of our early objectives. We found after adding alternative resource sources, new scientists, new gadgets, it was then already complicated enough. When you play the game as a whole, you need to automate and take care of so many things that it quickly became overwhelming. The initial gameplay prototype included more intermediate items and mechanics than we have now, like tungsten would first need to be turned to powder before being processed of any kind of melting and casting recipe, also output slag, which was used for nothing but reprocessing. Back then, we couldn't just void items in lava. If an alternative is only ever used for one thing, then perhaps it should be more useful or be removed. Like iron sticks should have been removed rather than being added to power poles.
I mean, we did lose wooden boards.
Which were used in the making of a box and a shotgun.
Yes.
So sure, but iron sticks were only ever used in lamps and rails.
And train signals.
They're used in train signals.
Not anymore, but I'm pretty sure they used to. There
don't
was a
think
few
they
other
were.
things that used iron sticks.
No,
That's
there were
been
only
whittled
those
down.
two, and they should have just been removed. Okay. Both these items are in a situation where they only slow down progression, so removed. On the other hand, the idea to extract iron and copper ore from lava was something the first prototype did include, and we discarded it. After some time, we realized that just mining iron and copper ore over again the same way in Narvis isn't very appealing, so we eventually made it back in. If you have to build multiple bases, it's very important you reduce points of repetition between planets, so nothing feels stale. Over time, we've consistently tried to simplify and cut excessive things. If something's repetitive but can't be cut, then we add a new twist or a new shortcut instead. This has been the case since Arendel's initial version, every iteration since, so we can now get through all the planets whilst keeping the gameplay fresh. Everything presented above is obtained from trigger technologies, which we covered earlier, which is basically, I don't know, go make a miner or go find 1,000 tungsten ore by hitting rocks, and then we'll automatically give you the big miner.
Or give you the technology, or unlock the technology, or
Yeah.
open up the technology.
Yeah. So yeah, we asked player craft some items specific to Vulcanus. When the Foundry big miner, still very excited when you start using them, place them on planets other than Vulcanus. We still haven't shown you what you're gonna unlock with the meteorological science pack. Perhaps some other time. So we've only found out about miners and furnaces and a little bit more about this planet. But Mojo, I have an important question.
Yes.
This is the most developed planet. We've already agreed on that. So it means the other planets are less developed than this one. This one sounds reasonably complete now after, we're going to go with 2 years.
Since 2020.
Yeah,
I think it
2020,
was.
2021. Let's be generous. Let's say they finished 1.1 before they even started worrying about the DLC expansion. So it's been
Beginning of 2021. Yes.
Yeah, okay, so let's call it 3 years. 3 years, and let's say that a lot of time was spent working out space and getting space working, which, as far as we can tell, is complete-ish. And then we spent a lot of time working on this planet. So in theory, getting the next 3 planets together should be quicker. But if there is one planet ready to go, in air quotes, there might be changes. Do you think that what they have currently could and should be released as early access, i.e., you could buy a copy of the Space Age DLC right now as an early access DLC?
See, on the one hand, having one extra planet is a thing. On the other hand, it might be a little too early.
You reckon? Because like the only time I had experienced a DLC in early access was Oxygen Not Included, and that had the I don't know, whatever, the Space Age, Space something DLC. I can't remember. I bought the damn thing. and then found out it was early access after I bought it because it wasn't really
Oh
made
yeah, because it
clear.
didn't actually tell you it was early access.
Yep, and they did do a whole bunch of updates to it since, and it's much improved. But it's one of those things that I don't know. I can't play Oni for large periods of time because the game, for whatever reason, hates. I think it's my setup. I think it's the multi-monitor setup. So it always runs like dog. So I've never got super far into the game. But each time I have, I've sort of got to the end of wherever we're up to, and then in Oni's case, they added new content, and then there's no proper way to migrate your current save over to the new version. So, well, there might be for 1 or 2 versions, but not 3 or 4 versions in the future. So then you need to start again and go from there.
Yeah, if you want the hermit and the other
Yeah,
critter things.
yeah, these things don't
You got to
exist.
start over.
Yeah. So you need to start from scratch again. So Factorio's generally been better than that. I don't think there's been much times we've lost things or and had to make a brand new save to go forward. So yes, you still think it's a bit too early?
Yeah, I mean, Factorio already was in early access, but they never half-released things. They always gave you the complete package, like with the major updates.
Yeah, and this would be the same. So you'd buy it now, and you get access to one planet, and then in 6 months, 3 months, a year, we all know what speed the team at Woob works at. They make excellent code with very few bugs. They're just super fast about it, but it means you get a new planet, and then you get another new planet.
Nearly always excellent code.
And it's 98 compared to any AAA game in the last 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking about that one time when train signals stopped working.
Compared to 98% of any AAA game in the last 10 years, it's perfect code. Or there's been some catastrophic bug that they're like, oops, but that's okay, it's fixed an hour later.
Usually that happens, I think that happened with like 15 and 16 releases, that the point 1 came out like 2 hours later.
Yeah, there's been some bugs that have been hilarious and horrible, and they just haven't had a test for it. It's been fixed within like 20 minutes, but then the deployment script takes an hour or whatever it is to recompile and re-upload everything.
It takes longer for it to propagate up through the Steam than it does for the for them to fix it.
So yes. All right. I think personally they could do early access right now, and I
think there's potential for once the planet is complete and they have the systems in place, then it would make sense.
I'm assuming this particular planet is either complete or it's at 90% complete. The only reason it's not complete is because the 3 planets later is not complete, and we're waiting for a decision to happen there, which is going to impact this planet. All right, I think that's probably their point they're at. But yeah, I think they can do early access right now. But I also think I don't really have anything else to add to this Friday Facts. It's interesting. It's cool. I want the new miner.
Yes, and the foundry.
Yeah, and the foundry. But I think I want the new miner more than anything else. As you pointed out earlier, being that's 5x5, it's going to be the perfect size for direct mining into trains.
Yeah, Reddit is already firing up about that.
Yeah, because if you add a power pole, then it's 6.
Yes, and it's the perfect width.
Yeah, it's the perfect width to line
and
directly up with the
coverage
train.
is perfect and everything.
Yeah, the coverage is massive. And
some would say
the fact that they have that resource reduction means that you don't have your iron patch or your patches having strips taken out of them as you've mined them, drying patch by slice by slice as you run the trains through them. Or at least less so, because the resources are going to last longer. But yeah, I think with all that said and done, I think we're done with this Friday Facts.
So I had one final note.
Yep, yeah, sure.
With the foundry. So if it felt like to me, it's like the planet's signature building. And that made me wonder if every other planet is going to have some kind of unique signature building like the foundry.
I think every planet is going to have some sort of building that looks very Factorio, but also
some kind of process introduced that's unique to that planet.
Oh yeah, they've already said that. They've already said that every planet is going to feel unique in its own special way. But yeah, I feel like every planet is going to have its own building that looks very Factorio, but also looks very fitting for this planet. So we're going to notice that the foundry has a lot of fire in it.
Yeah, it's very sort of lava planet Quake 2 looking.
Yeah, it's very much on fire, just like the rest of the planet. And I think that that's going to be, we're going to find, I don't know, there's going to be an ice planet probably, because, different planets, different orbits, different spaces from the sun. There's probably going to be one that's going to be very, very cold. So I'm willing to bet there's going to be, somehow that planet is going to look very, very cold all the time. Or that building is going to look very cold. Made out of glass? Or look very glass-like?
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be something, and I'm willing to bet that yes, you're gonna go up. Yeah, anybody's gonna be able to look at the game and go, okay, those two buildings came from that planet, so on and so forth. But yeah, anything else you want to throw in?
No, that's it.
That's it.
Other than it being Volcanus, not Vulcananus.
Vulcanus. Whatever.
It's cracking me up every time you said it.
I know. That's why I keep doing it. Anyway, that's it. We're out.
Keep
Thanks for
doing
watching. See you next one. Bye.
Bye.
I don't have to stop the recording button. Cool. Put a note somewhere. 5 hours, 20-ish was when we started. It's another 40-minute Friday Facts. Do you see the video? Factorio like it was built in the Unreal Engine in 3D. I did see the video. I have meant to install the damn thing on my PC.
Did it actually ever go anywhere, or is it sort of run out of steam?
It takes a current base and renders it inside Unreal. But won't work with
it's just
modded content. Yeah, it's just a rendered. It'll do like a couple of frames. Some of the machines have animations in them, but it doesn't actually let you play the game. It's just rendering the game. So yes, I did guess. What's AAA? Does it have something to do with Alcoholics Anonymous? With some of the code that comes out of some of these development houses, yes. Wonder how much 2.0 is going to cost? I've already said $30. Which, considering the base game's now 35, 40?
42, I think, in dollary dues.
Yeah, I'm working in US dollars. Steam DB Factorio. It is 50 Australian dollary dues.
50 now.
Yeah. US
Just a reminder
dollar.
that dollary dues are worthless.
I don't want converted. I want price in. Set your currency to Tony's dollar. Blah 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 blah. US dollar. It is 35 currently. Actually, I'm probably going to leave that set as US dollar. Yep, 35 currently. We're going to get an ice planet or an ocean planet. I would like both.
Maybe
doubt we're going to get a gas
the
giant.
ocean one.
Hmm?
Maybe not the ocean one.
Why?
That's a lot of water to landfill.
Yeah, but think about it. In all the advancements we've got, if they gave us something like we've got, there's mods, AI Industries. Can't we just drop one A from that? But okay. If you do something like that with a hovercraft rather than a train station, and things just go back and forth, and they make a path, and they just keep running the same path over and over. Shows the current price in that currency. Yeah, I know, but I gotta find it. I gotta find US dollars somewhere in this junk. Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, I'm gonna. I look at all because everybody understands US dollars. Okay, if I mention a price in US dollars, a European can convert it very quickly. Somebody who lives outside the European but inside Europe, like like my good British friends who work in pounds, which is a unit of currency, not a weight measurement, because the Americans are silly. They can do the maths, and an Australian can do the maths. Yeah. Jay is used to C block these days. Yeah, we hate C block. We all know C block's great.
Your favourite mod?
Yeah, absolute favourite. Technically, it's called sterling. Oh, okay, fine. Pound sterling. Technically, it's called pound sterling.
I thought it was squid. Like,
That is a lot of icons. Remote play on
Squid
tablet.
Sterling.
Level editor. DualShock. DualSense. DualSense. DualShock. Cloud gaming. NVIDIA. Cloud gaming. Co-op. LAN co-op. Cross-platform map. Partial controller support?
Yeah.
With full controller support as well. Okay. Factorio has lots of icons. Didn't even know there was a currency named after fish. That's alright. What do the Canadians call it? Canadian rubles.
I thought it was pesos.
Okay, sometimes they throw pesos in there. We got ads starting in 25 seconds. Which means in 25 seconds, did the category not update? I hate you,
No.
Twitch.
Of course it didn't update. Why would it update? Why would you expect something to work?
Dollar a loony? Yeah. Why did the category not update? Okay, that's gonna be a pain later. Alright, we're gonna change to Factorio. We're gonna click the OK button. We're gonna wait like 3 minutes for an ad break. Because Thunder's gonna be the defending king. And then we're going to go back to SteamWorld Build. Have you seen SteamWorld Build?
I downloaded the demo, but I never got around to playing it.
Oh. It's worth it.
It's an interesting game because it's this, like, it's a city builder, but then you got the mining and everything else. Like, it manages to do quite a bit. It does a lot more than what most of those, like, it's got a lot more to it than most of the city builder type games like that.
The only...
Like, if it was just a straight city builder, it wouldn't be interesting.
Correct. The only thing that I really, really wish it had was I wish I could zoom in closer.
Zoom right down.
Zoom right down, also remove the HUD.
Too much HUD?
I just removed the HUD for screenshots. Pro Unreal, thank you for the Prime! We know this comes up when the ads come up. Snowso is going in with lots of things. Gadget is finally going to play a game that I actually play along with. Oh, you can play Factorio. Sea Turtle. Factorio run on a toaster with a dedicated graphics card.
You can run it on a Switch.
So you can run SteamWorld Build. That's why there's probably no buttons to remove interfaces, etc. Because it was designed with controllers in mind. So they've limited
As
PC
everything is these
version
days.
to, yeah. Did you ever watch the hour-long presentation that Winston did on porting Factorio?
No.
It's worth putting it on the background listening to it. There are lots of things that I now understand why devs take shortcuts. I hate that they take shortcuts. But I now understand why they do. Yeah. Whoa. Sexy Lemons 69, that one dev. Thank you for the 99 bits. Thank you for also clicking the follow button. So close to that follower goal.
Hello, my friend.
That follower goal that's
Stay
half
a
hidden
while and
under the map.
listen.
I need to put a gray behind it or something. That's a lot of death.
Professional streamer
Thunder?
right there.
What professional stream? What do you mean?
Professional streamer hiding your things.
Yeah, it's just... It's a catch-22.
Yeah, visual clutter.
Yeah, pretty much. Snowso, you win. Dungeon Keeperish is very Dungeon Keeperish. Okay, so we're gonna hit the done button.